Hi, this is Andrew Smith, instructor at Ferris State University and runner of artbysmitty.com. This is going to be part 10 in my DOTA 2 workshop tutorial series. We've created, if you've been following along, we've created pretty much everything up until this point. Previously we've created a diffuse map and a normal map, and now we have two different masking maps to create in order to comply with the DOTA 2 texture shaders. So, I'm going to open up Photoshop, and if you remember right, this is the diffuse map that I've created so far, and here is the normal map that we baked out. Now this diffuse map has gone through quite a bit of changes since we baked the diffuse coloring, inside of 3ds Max. So this is the kind of the final result, and right now if I go up to image size, I'm at 1024 by 512. So the texture limitations are 256 by 256 for this mask, or for the texture maps for Bloodseeker. Again, I know that number by going to the DOTA 2 workshop website. Each character has different specifications, so based on what character you're using or you're creating content for, you need to go and make sure you know the texture size limitations. So what I'm going to do is, from this point on, I need to go in and make this texture map the appropriate size. I'm going to keep this high-res version because I'd like to be able to go back and, if I need to create a, a nice beauty render for this asset later on for like a poster shot or something, or for my portfolio, I have the nice higher quality texture map that I can apply to the object and make it look a little bit nicer than what it would say in-game with a 256 by 128 texture map. So actually I think I'm going to keep these for now the way they look, and then we'll go in, and once we're finished with all the texture maps, we'll go ahead and crank them down so we can actually import them into the game at the appropriate sizes. So I need to, basically, I'm going to select my diffuse map here and say File, Save As, and we're going to call this lightblade underscore mask 1.psd. Okay, so now this this file that we're looking at here now is my masking 1. So essentially what I'm going to do is, first of all, before I start creating the mask 1 texture, I need to go and not get this guy, but I need to look at the character shader mask guide document. This will tell me exactly what I need to do. I've already created the color map. I've already created the normal map. I'm needing this mask 1 map. Now, scrolling down here, looking at the mask 1 column, I don't need a detail map for this model. I know I don't need a Fresnel mask for it either. I do need a metalness map, and let's see here, and I might not even need the metalness map. I don't quite know yet. We'll play with it and see what we get. But I do need a self-illumination mask for the areas in the blade that are going to be glowing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create that next. And actually, one thing I need to do is, looking at the color map here, it actually has glow in the color map, and then the self-illumination mask is just a black and white image. It's actually stored in the alpha channel. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glow to my diffuse map by just painting, and then I'm going to go ahead and create these two maps in the mask. So coming back to my Photoshop document, I need to make sure that I have my diffuse map, which is this guy. Again, this is the mask. Here I need to come in and I need to create, let's put all these in that Paint 3 folder. I need to come up here and create a new layer, and this is going to be our glow. Now I can probably select this very easily by coming back down here to my bakes and going down to the straight diffuse color and selecting these little areas here, and then coming up into this new layer that I've created in the glow map. And actually I need to grab that handle down at the bottom as well. There we go. Okay, coming back to my glow. At this point it is quite handy to come over here and bring in my Lightblade concept. Since I was using this for concept work, I need to come in here and actually grab maybe some colors that I'd like to use for this. So it's pretty much white. So we're going to go ahead and hit G and just fill that in. and it doesn't have a nice red glow around it. So we'll go ahead and go to blending options, and we're going to add a outer glow to this. And this glow I want to be red. Like so. We might want the size of it to be a little bit bigger, along with our spread, and really just playing with the different settings here to get this looking appropriate. Okay, so I actually quite like this. What I might do right now is, I like some of the details that I was getting in here, where I can still kind of see some stuff through the glowing. So I might bump the opacity down here to, like, I don't know, something like 90. And then I might tell it to be an overlay. Maybe not soft light. I'll duplicate it. This one will be normal, and that will have a lower opacity. Really just a subtle effect going on here. But it is nice to kind of see through that a little bit. And let's see here. Okay, so this bottom layer, I might actually come in here and change that color red a little bit, maybe to be darker or more desaturated. Just I didn't like the pure red that I was getting, and that looks a little bit nicer. So there we go. We have our glow added to the diffuse map now. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control S to save that. What I'm going to do now is coming over here. This is my mask 1 map, remember, and actually if you read this document nicely, we actually put these different maps in different channels, so like the red channel, green channel, blue channel, or alpha channel. So it's going to look really weird when I'm not looking at it through different channels. So again, self-illumination, let's find it. Okay, right here, that's going to be in our alpha channel, and that's black and white. So coming back here to Photoshop, essentially what I can do, I'm just going to turn off all these layers. I'm going to get rid of my concept, go back to the layer that I have this glow on. I'm going to drag this window out a little bit, and I'm just going to drag, by holding Shift, that glow layer into my masking layer here. I'll create a new layer below it, hit G for Paint Bucket, fill it with black, make sure this is cranked up to 100, select the two layers, Control E to collapse them, Control Shift U to desaturate them, and here we are, we have our glow map, or self-illumination map. What I'm going to do next is hit Control A, Control C to copy that, and I actually have to come in here and create a new Alpha 1 channel and hit Paste. And so now, now that in the alpha channel we have the self-illumination map stored. Now looking back here, we still have to put the metalness map into the blue channel, and our red and green channels are going to be black. So I can go ahead and actually create those really quickly. So red, let's turn everything, let's actually just go back here to layers, create new, fill it with black, Control A, Control C, come in here into my red channel and paste it in. Okay, and the way I got it there is I'm actually going to delete all of these previous layers and call this one my background. My background is just straight black. Turn off the alpha real quick. So my red is black, my green's black. Now my blue channel needs to have, well, my blue channel needs to have that metalness map in there. So coming back to Photoshop, I'm actually going to come back here to my original diffuse map, come over here to layers, close all of these, and I'm going to actually come back right down to the original bakes that I had. And this is where it's going to get pretty easy. I need to just tell it, I don't need ambient occlusion, I need straight color, so I can turn off the shading. Here's my color map. I can select, and I'm actually going to duplicate this layer. There we go. So metalness, the blade itself needs to be quite shiny. Okay, so I actually like that area here. This needs to be, we're going to go, judging by the reference material, the metalness is somewhere around gray. Like so. I'm going to select this red area. I imagine, and actually I'm going to change this to my magic wand really quick. Okay, and just, there we go. I have, since I don't have contiguous checked, it selected all the red in the entire scene. That can be quite handy. From here I'm going to hit G, and I'm going to grab a color that's close to black, but not quite black. There we go. And then from here, that's obviously, this needs to be black. And also the handle can be black as well. There we go. It's looking a little bit better. And then I'm also going to make the areas where they're glowing black as well. There we go. And now you can see I have some artifacts, so I'm going to kind of come in here and just kind of brush those out really quickly with black as well. Okay, so coming over here into my channels, you can see that I have my metalness map in the blue channel and my self-illumination map in the alpha channel, and the resulting look of it looks something like this. We can turn off the alpha, but I'm going to go ahead and save this out as my Lightblade Mask 1.psd. Save it, and we're done with creating our first mask texture map. The next part is going to be creating the Mask 2 map, and from there we're going to rig, we're going to skin this mesh to the proper bones and then import it into the game itself. So thanks for watching.